After the burial has taken place, the family and everyone who is at the cemetery needs to wash their hands. There may be water at the cemetery. If there is not, someone should be designated to place water in a bowl, water and a bowl, with a traditional laver or glass outside the Shiva house, which we'll describe in one moment, so that one can wash his hands 3 times alternately on each hand. This is a symbolic washing, as today we have no way to make ourselves cleansed from the impurity of death, but it is still symbolically done even today. The Shiva house is the house of mourning. It's called the Shiva house because the 7-day period of mourning is that time when people come to the home to visit and comfort the mourner. Sometimes you'll hear people say, so-and-so will be sitting Shiva for 3 days. Just so you know, that really is an incomprehensible statement if you know what the word Shiva means. Shiva means 7. So he'll be sitting 7 for 3 days. So you should just know that you can say someone will be sitting for 3 days, but to say he's sitting Shiva for 3 days is somewhat of a strange statement. The home has been designated for the mourners, and ideally, Jewish tradition says, that home should actually be the home where the person lived who has passed away, if possible. It is said that the soul still hovers in that home, and the prayers that are said there are seen as beneficial for the person who has passed on. And therefore, if all is practical and can be worked out, that is the ideal place to have what's called the Shiva house. If that's not practical, it's often done in one of the relatives' homes where they are. The Shiva house is usually announced. Sometimes a mourner has to go from one place to another. If he's from out of town, he may sit Shiva the 7 days partially in one place and partially in another. And during that period of time, the mourner has certain prohibitions that are put upon him. For example, he's not allowed to sit on a regular chair. He has to sit on the floor or a low stool. He can't have sexual relations. He can't anoint himself. He can't wear leather shoes. He can't wash for pleasure. These are some of the things that the mourner is forbidden to do in order to show that he's not concerned about his physical needs and self at this time when he should be focused upon his deceased relative. Because of that, some say the mirrors are also covered. Because we're used to looking in the mirror to see, how do I look? Is everything in order? You're not concerned about how you look today. Your relative just passed away, and everything isn't in order. So that's a reminder, among other reasons, why the mirror is covered. In the house as well, so community members bring food for the mourner, and there is especially a meal of consolation that is eaten immediately after the funeral when they come back to the house, which consists of simple foods like hard-boiled eggs and lentils, a piece of bread or a bagel. This is done, the reason it's supposed to be specifically done by others is because a person may come home and feel, I can't eat. I'll never eat again. How can I eat after I lost my father, my mother, my child? And thereby, if a person has to go make a meal for himself, he may be successful at not eating, which is unhealthy for this individual at this time. So thereby, we make sure that there are others who care about this individual, who is preparing food, and that's the idea also of sending different trays to the home so that the food is readily available for people to go ahead and eat, and they don't have to worry about making the meals. And making the meals also, they say, distracts the mourner from what he should be doing, which is focusing right now upon his loss. During this time, prayer services are held in the home so that the mourner is not required to have to leave his house and to go schlep somewhere. We make it easy for him. We bring the community to him. And there are various laws as well which need to be abided by this individual who is mourning. There are more details that can be looked into. Next, we will look at the laws governing those who come to comfort the mourner. I am Rabbi Hanan Bach, your rabbinic advisor on eshiva.com.